We've got the Hyundai Santa Fe Hybrid.
This has been a big hit. Yeah,
That's good.
regular automatic transmission. That's what I like. So recently, in the last couple of weeks, we were driving the Palisade from Hyundai, and that's coming up a little bit later on. This or Palisade? Right now, what's under the floor of this hybrid?
A 1.6 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder with a 6-speed automatic transmission. It is a hybrid system and gets a combined 231 horsepower and 271 pound-feet of torque. Standard all-wheel drive in Canada. Front-wheel drive and all-wheel drive options are available in the US, and you can use regular fuel in this Santa Fe.
So this is a 2026 model. Let's get into the key standard features.
The base trim comes with a 12.3-inch touchscreen, wireless, Apple Carplay and Android Auto, a 4.2-inch digital driver display, 7-passenger seating, cloth heated front seats, manual front seats, a heated steering wheel, hands-free smart power liftgate, smart sense safety features, and over-the-air updates. In the US, heated front seats and a heated steering wheel are not standard.
So a lot of things going for this. It's common to the Hyundai group. If you get a hybrid, you get a small turbocharged engine, you get a regular automatic transmission, and it's very quiet.
So what's new for 2026? Well, not a lot has changed because this is a newer model, but Hyundai has added new trims, and in Canada, boy, did we ever need some extra hybrid trims. So that's great, and also some new exterior and interior color options. The pecan brown interior looks great online. We haven't seen it in person, but nice, unique color.
White wouldn't be the color I'd choose as a press unit myself, like a white car.
Yeah.
But anyway, this is what we got. So just last week, we drove the Kia Sportage Hybrid, part of the Hyundai group. This is larger and it's made by Hyundai, the Santa Fe. Do you find it more similar or quite different?
Quite different. Whether you get the Tucson or you get the Sportage, they're very smooth, quite refined, super quiet. This has more of a bumpy ride to it. It doesn't eat up all the imperfections in the road. When you're on a smooth surface, of course, it feels smoother, but even the steering is slightly heavier than what you would get in the Tucson and the Sportage.
So maybe they're trying to make it look a little truckier and a bit more of that attitude. It's not hard going, put it that way, but it's just, that's the difference between them.
Some of you have asked on Instagram, between the Tucson and the Santa Fe, that they share the same powertrain. So is there a lack of power because this is bigger? No, Hyundai has tuned this really well, and of course it's electrified. So I think the power is quite good. Passing power on the highway, I never had a problem with it.
So they can, so you still get the same output of, say, torque, for example, but when it dials in to the torque curve, they can change that through the electric motors and through the turbochargers. It is very satisfying. You won't feel disappointed driving it, put it that way.
No.
So yes, this is white, but it's matte. And with all of the black trim, so a panda kind of look, black and white, it does actually look pretty good. And the big boxy look is definitely a trend. We're actually going to get into that a little bit later on. As I always say, Andrea, everything ends up looking like a Land Rover or a Range Rover.
Yeah.
And yes, this maybe looks like an old LR4 or a Disco from years ago, especially the back. Do you agree?
Yeah, oh, for sure. The boxy design is where it's at right now. This is what consumers are looking for, and Hyundai has capitalized on it. I like the look. Most of the complaints that I hear about this vehicle come from the rear when it comes to exterior design. I don't know if it's because the rear is flat. Is it because the tail lamps sit a little bit low? There's something about the rear that is maybe not as appealing for some people.
There's no rake to the rear window, so it
No.
kind of just goes out and then straight down, so it's very flat.
I like the hidden wiper.
Yeah, that's a nice trick. Oh, we're at higher speeds, Andrea.
Yeah.
We have it in sport already. What else can we put it in?
Well, you got to put it in S for subscribe, and if you can hit that notification bell, you'll be notified when all of our reviews drop, and then you can watch them.
And we do this, the couple car review, twice a week. The first one drops on Wednesday.
We put another one out on Saturday.
So people ask, what's the number one thing that we can do to support your channel? That's it, subscribe. And the summer sale is almost over, so get on it.
And it's free.
All right, so now we're going at higher speeds, foot to the floor.
Here we go. No problem.
And that's as loud as it gets. I will say there's a little bit more wind noise.
Yes.
Because it is boxier.
It definitely a little bit more wind noise. And then I'm going to go on the rougher side just so you can hear it.
That's all tire noise.
Yeah.
And watch it along here, Andrea.
Oh yeah, we don't want to get. We don't want to get.
You don't want to get hit.
Sometimes the police hide.
All right, so that's the acceleration. Yeah. So on the outside again, the boxy look is in. Everyone ends up looking like a Land Rover or a Range Rover. What are the key features on the outside?
This gets 7 inches of ground clearance and comes standard with LED headlamps, LED tail lamps. You've got body colored bumpers, 18-inch wheels, available 20-inch wheels, and a tire repair kit. There's also available power folding exterior mirrors, which is really nice if you're parking on the street or your garage is super tight.
People either love or dislike the tail lamp pattern, which is meant to look like an H, of course, it's a Hyundai, or they call it a dog bone. Looks like a dog bone. Knick-knack, paddywhack, give the dog a bone. So you decide whether you like that. When you drive Hyundai and Kia products, you see a lot of commonalities, like the big screen with the elements behind one big pane there. Where it really differentiates, though, is with the HVAC controls and buttons. Hyundai's leaning still into the hard, shiny plastic in the center console, but that's really the only place they use it.
Yeah, not a ton here at all, but lots of buttons. Not everything is done in the screen, so those basic features like heated and ventilated seats and a heated steering wheel are all easy to access at the center console. Storage is terrific in here. You've got a floating center console, so tons of storage underneath, but storage here at the center is good, and it can be opened both ways.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, which is pretty great for
kids
passengers.
getting extra cookies out of the cookie jar.
Door pockets are good. There's even a tray here by the glove box. Like, just overall well thought out for families.
You're missing the two main features, which are the two wireless chargers right here in the center. So we saw this first from Tesla. They put their chargers on an angle like this, but this is nice. This is what people use. They use their phones all the time, and they're charging both passenger and driver all the time.
So there is an available wireless charger, a single, and then this top trim gets the dual wireless chargers, but both are available to you just depending on the trim you choose. This comes standard with a 12.3-inch touchscreen. You've got an available 12.3-inch digital driver display, which is great. And then standard cloth upholstery, available leatherette, leather trimmed, and Nappa leather.
So this is, apparently this is Nappa leather.
Yeah,
right?
top trim.
I'm going to go on record and say it again. I think that the Hyundai faux leather is what I would choose. I like it. I think it's softer than this, and I think it looks just as good. You won't be able to tell. The line I always use is, I can't believe it's not butter. I can't believe it's not real leather. It's so soft, and it looks great. And this is kind of hard.
Yeah, and I wonder about comfort level. I'm not finding the seats uncomfortable, but you've got to try them yourself and make sure that they're comfortable for you. Everybody has a different body type. Some have back issues. What I do like is that this has a power adjustment on the passenger seat. I think that's terrific.
Available features include an 8-way power driver's seat, driver's relaxation seat, ventilated front seats, driver's seat memory, and lumbar support, 12-speaker Bose sound system, surround and blind view monitors, navigation, a head-up display, dual-pane sunroof, and heated rear seats.
Now, the top trim, whether you're in Canada or the US, comes with captain's chairs. There's no option of a bench seat, but it's the lower trims that have more options for you for a bench seat.
Speaking of the rear seats, here's me getting in the second row captain's chairs. There is a lot of legroom, and of course, because it's boxy, a lot of headroom. These seats slide fore and aft. Because this is the top trim, it actually has a power recline feature. How does it stack up?
The Santa Fe Hybrid offers 44.4 inches of front row legroom and 41.5 inches of second row legroom.
Here's me getting in the third row. The one thing I'll say is, when you get in, you notice right away that your knees are pointed up and your bum is sitting low, but it really is quite comfortable. You have to share legroom with the seat in front. How does this stack up?
Third row legroom is 30 inches.
Power liftgate on this model, when you lift it up, you can see with the third row up, the amount of space is really quite small. Underneath, that's where the tire repair kit is.
Cargo space behind the third row is 14.6 cubic feet. Behind the second row, 40.5 cubic feet. And overall cargo space is 79.6 cubic feet.
Time now for questions, coffee, and cars.
Your questions from Instagram.
Is it true that Hyundai has dropped the 3-year complimentary free maintenance? Yes, that is correct for the US. We never got it in Canada anyway. We were slightly jealous.
You can send a personalized note to the President of the United States and thank him for that. Tariffs. These companies have got to make up their margins somewhere. They're not going to pay for maintenance.
No.
So yeah, instead of putting the prices up, they're cutting that.
How does the Santa Fe compare to the Toyota Highlander? Good comparison. The Santa Fe is actually bigger, offers more legroom all around than the Highlander. But the Highlander hybrid can tow more. That might be a good thing for some people. This is a 6-speed automatic transmission. What does the Highlander have?
It has an eCVT. If you go for the hybrid, of course, it's slightly different, but it does get better fuel economy.
Yeah.
And it has been around forever and is a proven entity. Speaking of transmissions, we didn't mention it earlier. The gas model of this, they changed.
They did?
Remember, there were issues with the dual clutch. People complained about it. What are the brothers called again?
Car Confections.
Car Confections.
Yes.
They bought one and had issues with it, and it was bought back from them. So they switched to a regular torque converter.
Yeah.
But I just want to go on the size of the Santa Fe and the Highlander. In behind the third row, this is from memory, but I'm going to show images of both. I believe that the Highlander, when all of the seats are up, has a little bit more space. This is really small.
Yeah, well, I'm just going by the dimensions of what's being offered. The other thing is that the Santa Fe is a 6 to 7 passenger vehicle, whereas the Highlander hybrid is 7 to 8. You know, that third row fits 3 versus 2 for the Santa Fe. So there are some differences. I also find that this has a bumpier ride. It doesn't eat up the imperfections in the road as well as the Highlander does. Like the Highlander is really comfortable, smooth, steering is super light, not that exciting.
Oh, you got my hint.
For those who like that, and some may, like comfort level with the ride quality, then the Highlander might be the one for you.
Hey, if you want to get a question in for a future episode, don't be shy. Follow along on Instagram. It's Motormouth_Andrea to get a question in. And you can also see what's going on behind the scenes. All the fabulous photographs and descriptions. For me, it's Motormouth_Auto. And the links are below the like button.
I've been seeing this around a lot. All I think about when I see it is the Ford Flex, which has now been discontinued. Maybe you don't know the answer, but this has become so popular. Why do you think Ford chose to discontinue the Flex? Maybe declining sales were the reason. And if that's the case, what's changing the market trend towards the style within the last few years?
Well, I think Ford was just ahead of its time. I think if that vehicle had come out now with a slight different twist to make it look maybe more like this, it would do very well. Another one that really stands out to me, a car that they abandoned, Ford abandoned the Flex, Honda abandoned the Element. And if the Element was brought out today and was a little more modern looking, I think that one would sell. I mean, these cars were just ahead of their time.
Yeah, they needed to be tweaked for sure. We saw Flex last night. It needs more ground clearance. It has more of a car look to it, but they could have tweaked it along the way and added the ground clearance that something like this has. Yeah. And then I don't really think it's changed that much. Look at Land Rover. The boxy design has always been there. The Defender's been a massive hit. I think that this is a brilliant idea that Hyundai has gone with. Usually their vehicles have more of sharp line elements to them. This is really outside of the box for Hyundai, and well done.
And now it's time for our hot topic. What's this one, Andrea?
So spend $60,000 for the top trim or spend a few grand more and get the top trim Hyundai Palisade.
Yeah, in simplistic terms, if you look at it, you go, well, it's not that much more to get into a Palisade, but then you got to add in the freight and the taxes, and it's going to cost you more money, but you're getting a lot more vehicle. With the gas one, it's the 3.5-liter V6. For the hybrid, it's a higher performance hybrid, 2.5-liter turbo with 329 horsepower, but it's a compelling package, and we were very, very impressed. That one's much more elegant. This one is much more countryside vibe, I think.
You know what, it really comes down to budget. When you take a look at the numbers, I'll use Canada first, and you go to base model hybrid, there's a $17,000 Canadian difference between the two. That is substantial. I would say if you're just wanting to get into a hybrid and get better fuel economy, but you're on a tighter budget, Santa Fe wins hands down. But if you're looking top trim to top trim, there's only an $8,800 difference.
Still a lot of money.
Yeah, it's still a lot, but if you're leasing, maybe those payments won't be a huge difference. You'd have to check that out. In the US, boy, the US has priced that Palisade really aggressively. And whether you go base model to base model hybrid or top trim to top trim, it's about only an $8,000 difference.
All right, so let's get into all the vital stats of this, the Santa Fe.
Let's start with pricing. We'll do Canada first and then move on to the US. Canadian pricing includes freight, PDI, and fees. The base model starts at just over $46,500, and the top trim is just over $59,500. In the US, the base model starts at just over $36,000, and the top trim is just under $48,500. Add $1,800 to each trim for all-wheel drive.
Here's the all-wheel drive fuel economy, 6.8 liters per 100 kilometers city, 6.9 on the highway. That's 35 miles per gallon city, 34 on the highway. This hybrid can tow 2,000 pounds with trailer brakes. Hyundai offers a warranty of 5 years, 100,000 kilometers, or 60,000 miles. So we're looking for hybrids to compare and also mid-size 3 rows. Here's 4 to choose.
For your consideration, 4 vehicles for you to consider.
Up first is the Toyota Highlander Hybrid with a 2.5-liter 4-cylinder, a combined 243 horsepower, and a starting price of $54,000.
The Hyundai Palisade Hybrid with a different engine than this one. It's a 2.5-liter turbo 4-cylinder, a combined 329 horsepower, and a starting price of $63,000.
The Kia Sorento Hybrid with a 1.6-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder, a combined 227 horsepower, and a starting price of over $48,000.
The Toyota Grand Highlander, 2.5-liter 4-cylinder, 243 horsepower, and a starting price of $57,000.
So there are 4 3-row hybrids for you to consider.
Lightning round, 2 things we like, 2 things we'd like to see improved.
Well, I really like the visibility that this boxy design is offering.
For occupants on the inside, there's lots of room.
I'd love a little less wind noise when on the highway.
I like the blue one we had a year and a half ago. I
Yeah.
thought that looked really good. So there it is. It's the Hyundai Santa Fe. What do you guys think of that?
Thanks for watching, and if you like what you see, subscribe. We'll see you next time.